Welcome to VideoEOpenSource.org. If we can build technologies that save the schools time and money, we will. Our index page is organized into three sections. For parents, we have the VLDS County Directory. For schools, we have the VLDS Graph Tool. And for school-based developers, we have the VLDS Graph Tool API. In this video, we'll review all three of these applications. But first, let's take a look at the VLDS County Directory. This interface enables parents or anyone who's interested in learning about the community to browse through the different divisions in the state as well as the schools within those divisions. Here we have a list of all divisions, and we're going to click on Fairfax County, and here we see that there is a mashup where we have Wikipedia in the top left, and you can learn more about Fairfax County, its history, demographics, geography, so forth and so on. And then we also have a Google Maps API, which is fully interactive and is pulling from the VLDS system for the name of the county, and then it brings up the county so you can interact with that. And that's useful, but the county map I found not to be quite as useful as the ability to go into our list of schools that we see here at the bottom. And in this list of schools, you can click and see that actual school zoomed in completely, and of course it gives you the ability to search nearby and do everything that you need to do. And so that's the Google Maps API. And when you click on the name of the school, it goes into the VLDS Graph Tool application. Now what the Graph Tool does is gives you the ability to go in and look at data from the VLDS in a graphed format. And the user has the ability to go through and select different graphs. They can select pass rate graphs for the school. They can select averages for the school. They can also do the same thing at the county level and for the state. So this gives them the ability to quickly create those graphs where they're comparing the trends at their own school with the trends at the state. Now the graph that we're looking at right here is for one specific school. And when we take a look at the x-axis is actually for the ethnicity, the white ethnicity only. We've selected it down to that. And here you can see for everyone who is white at this school, they have scored 521 for the 11-12 year and 529 for the year prior. Now what you see in the graph here, you can also see that 529 and 521 are right here, including the years indicated on the side here. And we see that there's actually been an increase in special ed. Special ed's red, and we know that because it's keyed over here and it's keyed down here in the table as well. So when we scroll down on our table, we can see that all of the colors have their numbers indicated here. So you can have a table discussion or you can have a graphic discussion. So this is the kind of thing that you would produce, and if you wanted to take this graph and turn it into a PDF export, you simply click the PDF export, and it goes and takes the exact same information that you were looking at, but removes the graph controls and only has a PDF that you can then save, print, email, do whatever you need to do to it. This also gives you the ability to go in and select pictures and copy them and so forth and so on. So that is the PDF export function. But suppose we wanted to take a look at a table of this data that's not set up, kind of in this HTML Word type format, but is in something we can use like a spreadsheet. You simply click the Excel export, and it exports the file to your computer. And upon opening the file, you then have the option of doing all kinds of graphs or whatever is most appropriate for you. Now, when we're taking a look at this Excel spreadsheet, please note that each year comes imported in its own worksheet. So that's the 11-12 school year, and there we see the 10-11 school year, each on different worksheets. So that gives you an idea of how the exports work, how you go from graphs, so forth and so on. All of your filters are controlled over here. For example, if we wanted to remove LEP, you just click LEP and that removes it as a chart series from the group. You also have the ability to change the x-axis of the graph to whichever you want to see. Students with special education services, you can switch the x-axis to LEP. And this gives you the ability to take the ethnicity out of the question in terms of the graphs that you're creating, because we don't always need to look at ethnicity. So this gives you the ability to change the x-axis, and of course you can switch between annual performance and so forth and so on. These graphs will also export to PDF. You just simply click the PDF and it will export out to there. So last couple of features on this graph tool page is that we have the ability to switch our schools here or switch the county here, to then give school leadership the ability to look at different schools across the county, figure out what works in one area and how we can generalize those working strategies to other areas of the county. So that's a review of the Virginia Longitudinal Data System. Now, the last and possibly most powerful piece of this application is the part that's designed for school developers. So we're talking about people who may just run a school website, or maybe a person who's running building a lot of graphs, so forth and so on. They want to figure out a way to streamline their process. Well, the VLDS Graph Tool API is designed to do exactly that. It's very easy to learn, and all of this text right here is all you need to read in order to understand how to use this application. But then you will make reference to the variables. So let's kind of quickly go through and see how this works. All you do is you take this URL right here, VDOEopensource.org graphcontrols.cfm. And there's a question mark at the end of it. And developers know that means that it's getting ready to have a query string where variables are put in there and it tells the application what to do. For example, we have filters here. If filters equals ADV, it shows the advanced filters. Here we have graph. If graph equals school average, you see school average score. If it equals school pass rate, you see pass rates for the school. If it equals division average, you see the average for the division. If it equals state average, you see the average for the state. This is how you can control, just with a link, every aspect of the graph. Now, what do you get in return when you send that? Well, it depends on what you put as your export value. If your export value is Excel, it sends it to you in a PDF or in an Excel format. If your export value equals PDF, then it will actually open a PDF. So as a school website developer, if you had a link that said division name equals Fairfax County and export equals PDF, you would get a PDF opening from your page of all the scores for Fairfax County. So that gives you an idea of how this whole thing works. The API is very simple to use. All you ever do on your end as a school developer is create a link on your web page, and it will open up whatever it is that you dial in with these variables right here. So there is the API dictionary and a quick review of how VDOEopensource.org works. Thank you for watching.